Oh yeah, I don't know. It's just it's just some people use sage, and I'm just using like tobacco, just to Anyways, it doesn't work because I'm still have to grab my bag because I'm being demonically attacked. Well, it's just horrible. They just can and they do. And if I cover my dick pic up, I don't know. I wander around all day in my room all day long because of it. Like they do this all day long, for a day for over 5 years. Demonic attack. Okay, what else we were trying to talk to you? We were trying to talk to you about. Um, well, let's talk about 1965. Um, when I was born in a hospital in Canada, in Ontario province of Canada. And what happened was I was born a boy, and I was welcomed into this world by having a medical circumcision, removing the foreskin from the body's penis. Was it a satanic ceremony? Yes. Was it like in an operating room where there was the Satanic Bible by Anton LaVey or the Book of Lies by Aleister Crowley or the voodoo lady from Haiti who's killing chickens and using chicken blood and or was it the Jewish Moel? Because there was a video on it, was like E-Bombs World many years ago, of like a Jewish rabbi who took a ceremonial knife and cut off, the foreskin, and then it sucked the blood from the infant boy. My friend Dan Scott showed me that, and forever and forever and forever, he looked at me funny forever and forever and forever after that. Well, he just felt that, he felt that a lot of religious laws were ridiculous, morality laws, because he said, the biggest morality law in 1965 was that every infant boy in my city was ritually circumcised at the hospital where they were born in sterile conditions, as sterile as possible, because that's where I was born, and there weren't any satanic books. No, there was no religious books around. No, it's not a religious hospital. Nevertheless, that is where that ceremonial rite of Jewish circumcision, sexual magic is done. State-sponsored child abuse, state-sponsored. Well, they wouldn't say it was religion, but anybody looking at it, if they were off planet, would say the state religion is Judeo-Christian, and the Judeo-Christian rite of circumcision is in the Christian Bible. Yes, it goes way back to, we think it was Abraham in the Old Testament, the old Jewish patriarch, that somehow Jesus was related to, an ancestor of Jesus, and I guess the whole ancestor of Ontario Province, Canada in 1965. Yes, there were very rare exclusions. I mean, you can't help but notice these things when you've got one and everybody else has got one, and all the girls don't got one, and some of the guys, but they're very rare. One out of 100. One out of 100 boys didn't get circumcised. I mean, these were not, no, they weren't religious families. Everybody was done. Religious or not, yes. Except for a very small number. And it was very, like, everybody had noticed. And it wasn't until, I don't know. I don't think I was until I was maybe 17 before. No, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. 14. I don't know. It's much later in life that you come to a full and complete understanding of what exactly was going on. Because a lot of women, I don't know, they prefer a circumcised penis on a man. And, that requirement requires, mutilation. And if it's done involuntarily, it's abuse. And if it's done on a child, it's child abuse of the worst kind, I would say. And the trauma that's done to an infant by, I don't know, even if they do use a topical anesthetic or something, I don't want to tell you again and again and again. Well, they don't do it so much now because in Ontario province many years ago they stopped paying for it because in those days in 1965, well, I'm going to bet that it was yes, because there was a time when it was being paid for by Ontario Hospitalization Insurance Program, otherwise known as OHIP, the government socialist medicine government paid medical system of Canada in those days, 1965. And at some point along the way, the government said, well, we're not going to pay for it anymore because they were in a dispute with doctors about how much they were going to pay the doctors. And they said, well, whatever it was, and we're just not going to pay for circumcisions. Then all the doctors draws, because that was a huge cash cow for doctors. Oh my God. I mean, every boy got done. And it was a horrific problem for Big Pharma because Big Pharma collected those infant foreskins. They did. That wasn't just thrown in the garbage. That was valuable medical product. And it was recycled and it was sold as replacement skin for burns. Somebody had a bad burn, well, infant foreskin was used to do skin grafts with. That's what we were told in those days. It was on the internet, probably. The internet's been around for a long time, but when I was born in 1965, there was no internet. The internet was around in the year 2000, yes. Because yes, I remember the year 2000 and we did have the internet. In the year 1990, did we have the internet? 1990, no. Were modems available in 1990? Yes. Could you get a dial-up service for a modem in 1990? Probably. You would have to be very rich, I think, to go down that. And students, nobody had those in 1990. So, and even in the year 2000, the internet, a lot of people didn't have the internet in the year 2000. But between the year 1990 and the year 2000, that decade was the decade when the internet became mainstream. No. Not everybody had. Even in yeah, not even on the in the year 2000, not everybody had the internet. It's correct. But um a lot of people did get it in in the decade, yeah, between 1990 and 2000, a lot of people did. Not everybody knew modems, that's true. Even in those days when people were using dial-up modems and dialing in to use Netscape net browsers, yeah, there were still a lot of people in those days that didn't even know that the internet existed. That's true. Some people were very stupid. Yeah, yeah, those people are still alive today. Yeah, and they're just as stupid. Some people have become stupider. Yeah, that's true. Anyways, that was the story about when the internet became, prominent. Yes. We want to give a shout out to Doppler Computer in Vancouver, Canada, and Code 2 Computer in Vancouver, Canada, who were our computer suppliers in those days. And we loved going to the computer store. Loved it. It was like exciting getting a new computer. Because getting all the specs, because we would study all the specs. We would get computer magazines that would give you all the technical specifications of chipsets, yep, and video cards, and yeah, oh yeah, and Apple versus Mac, and Mac versus Apple, and Microsoft versus DOS, and DOS versus Windows, and Windows versus NT, and NT versus, well, I don't know, and then I don't just, okay. Okay, what else was I talking about? Well, I don't know. We've been talking about computer systems for so long, and I forgot exactly where we were. But Brent Beeson, the devil, earlier was talking about something or other, and he was complaining and complaining and complaining that he never gets enough airtime. I don't know where were we going. Well, that's long enough because we've come to a standstill. We'll have to pick it up in another video.